We do love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. Cheers, my boy. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the latest episode of Late Night Leeds with me, Matty, Sean of Wilco Whites, and my good friend Adam. How are you both doing, boys?
Very good, mate.
All good. I've had a week rest. Away on holiday with the fiancée. I'm ready to go.
Ready to go for the best new show on YouTube. To see Adam's face, I think where's he going with this? I thought I'd leave you hanging, mate. I had it covered. Now I had it covered, mate. I had it covered. Well done, boys. Excited to be here again. Love the show. Wait all week for this show. It's been
Love it, mate.
Fantastic week. One of the best weeks of the season as a Leeds fan after Monday night. Absolutely scintillating stuff. Honestly, I watched the. I don't know about you guys, but I've watched the highlights over and over and over. I think I only stopped watching shorts yesterday. I mean, has it been the same for you guys all week?
Yeah,
I've literally watched the second half back about an hour ago. Obviously, I've been away all week, so I've just been catching up where I can. But thought I need to give it a good watch. Obviously, we're out watching it, so it's a little bit different when you're out talking to somebody as well. You don't really get it all in, but still just as good, just as good when them goals going.
Yeah, I don't really watch matches back, but I made a point of watching that one back, and even the end of the rewatch, I was getting almost emotional on the rewatch. At the end, watching Farke go around and hugging the players after full time, it's just the match. I know we're gonna get into it, but yeah,
absolutely class. Well, anyway, guys, we've got a poll in the chat, like usual. It's a centre halves one this week, so please get your vote in. Jonathan Woodgate, Jack Charlton, Liam Cooper, Lucas Radebe. As if Cooper's got 0% already. Shocking. Shocking. Didn't see that one coming. But yeah, get your favourite centre half in there for the poll, please. We're gonna obviously each week the winner. We start off usually with talking about the previous winner, but we're gonna end the show on that this week. So Matt Viduka won last week's poll. We're gonna end the show, or towards the end of the show, we're gonna talk about that. And got a little treat for you about that as well. So yeah, that'll be good. That'll be great. So stick around to the end for that, guys. Yep. But we're going to have to touch on or talk about mainly, to be fair, the greatest game of the season that I've been to. I was absolutely buzzing with that on Monday. I can't even lie. So Leeds v Sunderland. We'll get into the stats, but before we do, Statman Sean. Statman. Brilliant.
Missed it.
Love it. Take it away, Shawnee boy.
Absolutely missed it. Well, interestingly, I was looking at the stats. So we had 66% possession all in all. Sunderland 34. But the first half, we only had about 6% we had first half. And Sunderland had like 40-odd%. Second half, though, this is where we really stepped it up. 72% possession we had in that second half alone. We were all over them. Accurate passes, 90% of us accurate passes. Now we're watching the passes, how crisp our passes are at the minute. You know, we actually ping that ball into people. Honestly, his passing is so good. What was it now? It was something like 89% passing accuracy. It's just off the scale for that second half. Yeah, really good. So shots, we had 21 shots. 6 shots off target, 4 shots on target, 11 block shots, 6 shots, 10 shots inside box, 11 shots outside box. Absolutely peppered them, we really did. They had 6 shots. The rest were all saved. There wasn't really much they really offered. I mean, the goal they scored, fair enough. Corners, 10. They didn't even have a corner. So it just goes to show how much we really pushed them back. Yeah, shit shots.
How many shit shots were there, Sean?
Six shots by the she-shaw, says Sean.
That's a mouthful, isn't it? That.
Class, that is a mouthful. But
yeah, there we go. 89% passing accuracy. Yeah, we got to brilliant, honestly. It was just. I think more that second half, we were just so dominant. I mean, looking at defensively for Sunderland, 7 interceptions, 10 blocks, 47 clearances for Sunderland, which is crazy. And obviously their keeper then it made some good saves as well, did Patterson. Looking at the ratings, obviously Starman's going to be striking it, coming on with them 2 late goals, 8.7. Joe Rothwell then 8.3. They were only on 20 minutes.
Unreal.
Yeah, unreal. Isidore for them, rating of 8. I thought he were a real handful. Obviously out-muscled Ampadu for his goal. Didn't do it as much when Strike were on. You could see that physicality was sort of a match up then. Lowest rating, Joe Bellingham. Out of everybody, you wouldn't think, would you? 5.8. So,
based on the eye test of the game, yes, I would. But before the game, no.
You wouldn't think it, would you?
No, you wouldn't.
So yeah, and that's it for the stats. Shit shots.
That's my favourite moment of stats so far.
That is, yeah, brilliant. Love that.
He was we were really dominant when we first half. Should we talk about the goal?
Goal conceded.
We're all blaming Ampadu, and quite rightly. It was really interesting because, so obviously the ball's played round. He's gone with him. He's gone short. Then he's spun him, and Ampadu's gone with him. Now Ampadu's tracked him quite well. But then what he did, he just got so tight to him, which isn't the end of the world in the box. But he went to the sort of the touchline side rather than the goal side is inside him. And that's what really. And once you touch time there, all he's got to do is turn around. Like Ampadu let him wear him as a backpack. It's like just go that way, you know. And it was good finish, good striker play. But Ampadu made that goal and made it really easy for him. And that was the issue with that. And then second half, we just played. I think we played 10 yards further up, and our concerted pressure just paid off in the end with corners, etc., and some brilliant substitutes from Daniel Farke, which I've never said before, ever.
His substitutions have been mint in terms of impact off a bench this season. Whether you agree with his timings, it's caused a lot of people some distress this season, saying, "Come on, make them early." I were calling for subs at half time in this one, but I think that's 12 goals scored by substitutes. I think it's the highest in the league. It's credit to him. You know, you might just say it's in spite of Farke, it's the players we've got, but still he's the one that's pulling them off the bench and sending them onto that pitch, and they're coming up with the goods. And you've got to have a squad in this league. We've seen before as have talented players, but not a squad. This season we've got a squad, and you can see what's happening.
I think it was tactical as well, a really tactical decision, because you look at the game and it were always his final ball into the box. They just weren't right. Free kicks, corners, they just won't it in the target. And also Sunderland, that's the weak aerially. So to throw somebody like Strike on last 20 and somebody like Rothwell on who can actually put them balls in with quality, there were always that chance that we were going to get something. And I think they knew that. So it was a really clever tactical decision to bring them both on. And even bringing Tanaka off and putting Ampadu back into that midfield, that just to give that bit more steel in the midfield, because we'd be losing it with Gruev being taken out. So it was really clever substitution from Farke.
Before we jump too far into the game, were we all happy with the lineup? Because it was the exact lineup I called. I assumed it would be that. Were we happy with the lineup initially?
No, spot on.
It's easy to look back now, isn't it, and say, "Oh, we should have." But initially, I think most people were happy with that lineup.
Yeah, no, I thought it was spot on.
But what do you think he's thinking? What in terms of starting Gruev at home when everyone says he's an away play? Is it because of how good Sunderland are in the middle of the park? Surely to try and
definitely.
Gruev's just better. So if Ampadu's not playing centre field, Gruev's next best at tracking his man, second balls, mopping things up, spotting danger, covering the danger. He's much better than anyone else. Actually, we stretched the time. They play through the middle of us a bit. I think we do still miss, even with Gruev in there, we miss Ampadu in there. Definitely, he's the best of the lot. I don't, for me. But yeah, I think it was spot on playing Gruev. I can't I wouldn't, even hindsight now, I'm not even sure. Still, I don't think it was wrong because we still had to play the way we played. We still had to have that concerted pressure. We still, we had Rothwell on the bench, as you say, to come on. And that's quite a big thing. That's very useful.
I agree.
I know Solomon were taking corners as well. So,
yeah.
I mean, there weren't bad corners from Solomon, with his right foot. It just there were nobody in there with any height really. Only Road on, weren't there? And I think that's what we lacked a little bit, especially against this Sunderland side.
It's just I think winning a header's not all. It's about height, obviously, but it's about attacking a ball, isn't it? It's about being the one that wants to get there first. And I'm not sure we've got many players that are that keen to do that, put the header in where it might hurt, etc. There's nothing. Lots of teams haven't. There's nothing against our players in saying that, but it's just you say. And sometimes being 6'3" does help, of course.
100%. Like I said, we're going to touch on set pieces and bits Leeds need to improve in the middle of the show. But Sean Healy said here, we discussed this a few weeks back. Me and Danny both said Amps ain't Prem level. Isidore made that run a few times before the goal. Amps should have read it better. A Prem player would have read it better. To be fair, I think he read the run okay. I think he just got his body wrong side of it. And once he'd done that, it was sort of game over. He couldn't get back. Once he'd sort of committed to where he wanted Amp to do, Isidore just threw him where he wanted and that was it. But you know what I will say? I think Isidore's a very good player, very strong player, very athletic player. One chance, one goal for him. It's easy to sit back and go, no one will be more self-critical than Ampadu with that. He'll be fuming as captain that that's happened. But it is only one mistake. It's not something that happened all game. He didn't get run ragged all game. That's what you've got to bear in mind with this. And we don't know he's a Prem player yet. We don't. I know he's played there before. Can't really class that when he's played in such a weakened side. We'll judge him next season. But you need to get your head around it. You need to get your head around it because he's going to be captain for us next season.
But I think what it is he's not a Premier League defender. I think we can all make that.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
He's not a Premier League defender, but I'm not saying he's not a Premier League player. He's probably going to be a good Premier League midfielder next season. Definitely won't be a Premier League defender. I can't see that.
Football, centre back in particular, is full of every position, full of endless micro decisions. And you get one wrong, and he did get back. He went with him, then went back goal side, and then you can say, well, why didn't Rodon had no one in the middle to cover? Why wasn't he a couple of yards closer? Because you could spot that Ampadu was getting around the wrong side of him. And he just got too tight around the wrong side. To say it was just that he made the wrong decision in that moment, and it cost us.
Yeah,
and he's admitted that, by the way.
Yeah.
The thing is with Ampadu, but I think he'll make a good centre midfielder in the Premier League. He's our captain. You see him getting the team together at the end of the game. The way he spoke to them, the way he gets them. He's the one talking there, not the manager, not any of the staff. Ampadu's the one running that. He is the team's leader. The amount of respect he must have in the club, within the players, etc., is just
I won't be comfortable having him in defence though in the Premier League.
No, absolutely,
definitely not. No.
But as a DM, he's in the best team in the league. He just is. So that's all we can go off. Whether it would be able to excel or do well in the Premier is nothing altogether. I think he will. But right now, in the division we're in, he's the best DM in our club and the best in the league.
Yeah.
It's fine. What's he say here? Easy. It was Ampadu's fault. He worries me because I've never seen him show any class. He can't score goals. I see AO read the game. No way Ampadu is a Premier League player. So we'll have to see. It's one of them. His opinions. I aren't 100% sure he can cut it in the Prem. I think he'll start in the Prem 100% under Daniel Farke. So you've got to get your head around that fact. But if I'm honest, I don't really know. I think Tanaka's a Prem quality player, but I aren't going to throw any shade on Ampadu as captain. He's done no wrong in my eyes at any point in his 2 years of being at Leeds, other than the odd mistake, which most players have done. Most players have been culpable for at least one. I don't think it's he has games when he does odd stray pass. It doesn't tend to lead to a goal, does it? He has moments, but I do think when he's playing probably 50% of his Leeds career out of position, you've got to cut him a little bit of slack for me. Let's judge him if he does 20 games straight at centre mid, which I don't even think he's done at Leeds. I think he's played 10, then played it back for 15, and I don't think he's probably played 20 straight games in his favourite position.
Yeah.
So he's done it okay. He's been good cover. He's been good value at centre half at this level because of the way we play. But I aren't going to beat him with a stick that, he's a poor player, because we've seen probably 60-40 in terms of percentage of where he's played has been the centre half, I'd say.
Yeah. And you ask Ampadu, you ask Farke, what's his best position? DM. Centre field.
Yeah. 100%. But he's still a better centre half than most at centre halves in this division.
Yeah. No, he is. I agree. Yeah, absolutely. He's made a mistake. You say the big point of that is Isidor's got the highest XG in the league. He's a really good striker. Like
he is.
You know, he's not many players would have done what he did there. And even if they did turn, they'd probably kick it wide or whatever, and wouldn't even talk about it. It's a really good finish as well.
I think it's just questions about physicality now with him getting rolled then by Isidore. But I get we'll say it's probably the first time it's happened that, isn't it?
Well, he's a really physical player.
He's really strong, isn't he, normally? So. Yeah.
Let's
not get too carried away. Yeah, let's not get too
bad defending. I don't think it didn't matter who you were, unless you're Matty jumping on the back of someone. Obviously, it collapsed. But it doesn't matter who you are. Like no, sorry, it doesn't. Like if you get that side of them, they're going to turn that way and they're gone. You know, all of us could have done it because he's not. It doesn't matter. You're a grown man. You just turn that way. Oh, he's over there. I'll go that way. Thanks a lot, mate. Like physicality or not, it's not going to happen.
But how do you think his passing went? And I thought his passing were fantastic against Sunderland. It was just the final ball sometimes, but I've just like I said it on the stats, the crispness of his passing, it's really coming together. I've seen it past few games now. We really zip that ball into people, ping it in, and the accuracy. And that's why you need players like Solomon, who's got the really good touch. You know, the first touch, really good to watch. It is at a minute. I thought very rare we give it away.
I thought first half, lads. We didn't look that good, if I'm honest. I thought Sunderland didn't outplay us. I just feel like we normally start off quite hot, quite quick, stick it on the opponent really fast, and I feel like we sort of it was sort of like a bit of a boxing match where you sort of just getting feel for each other, and it felt like with them getting that goal, they probably slightly edged it at half time, and I was quite disappointed with our performance. If I'm honest, Sean, the passing were okay when we had possession, but I didn't feel like we were doing much with it. The second half, instantly from the first kickoff, I felt Farke had got into him, and we were on it. We started the second half like we normally start the first half, because normally we start off hot and we get a goal early, don't we? I think we score in opening 10 minutes at home. In the last 6-7 weeks, we have scored pretty much early every game. Obviously, that second half, it started very hot. It took a while to get that goal, but I definitely felt there were. I called for Rothwell at half time. He didn't really need it that early, I don't think, because you could definitely saw the energy and the performance step up just from the chat in the changing rooms with Farke. Ultimately, he did come on Rothwell. He made that sub on, I think, 70th minutes like he normally does. And I think if he doesn't make that sub, we probably don't win that. We probably don't win that game. We probably don't get a goal back. It felt very much like on 60-ish minutes. Priestley texted me from Cop, and he were like, it's got Leicester vibes this. And I were like, it hasn't. It's got Burnley vibes. It's got losing 1-0 all over it. And then obviously he has his moment at the end of the game when it comes true. But honestly, I just didn't see a goal coming. But then when we scored the first, I didn't see anything other than a second coming. It was bizarre. That double substitution, were absolutely a masterstroke by Farke. Because I tell you, everyone around me sat in East Ham were going, "Will it 1 down? He's bringing a centre half, and what is he doing?" What a great substitution! What a brave substitution! When he on his post match, he felt uneasy bringing Strauch on. He said that because he wasn't showing his fitness.
Yeah.
He also went daft to think everyone will be thinking I should be bringing on wingers and strikers at this position, and he brought on a centre half and a midfielder and switched it around a little bit. And what a masterstroke, because like he said, we were getting free kicks round box, we were getting loads of corners, and we had his best set piece taker off on the bench and his best winner of headers in the opposition box on the bench. And he knew that change was massive and it'd work. It doesn't always work though. It doesn't always come out.
We said we needed to score more goals from set pieces. It's something we've lacked. Massive. And it can change games. Massive. And Ipswich did it a lot last season, and that's what we did. So
cheers, guys.
Long may that continue. Cheers, guys. It just changed the entire game, and it did look like then we were going to go on to win it in my eyes. And thankfully we did, didn't we? Were it last kick game, was it as well?
I've got about 1,000 things to say after everything you just said.
Go on, mate.
Go back to the start. I'm going to forget them all on the way, but I'm going back to the start.
That's like ADHD again, isn't it, mate?
Well, I can't honestly, I could have jumped about 50 times then, and so I'm going to miss bits out. But we were first half. So Sunderland set up in a 4-4. Defensively, they set up in a 4-4-2, and they did it all game. There wasn't a low block, by the way. There was no low block, but what they did do, they were spread out, defense and attack. So there was gaps between the lines all game. we were really not very brave in the first half. We weren't trying to punch balls through the lines. We weren't anything doing that. And that's what we did second half. We played 10 yards further up. They still played their 4-4-2, and there's still gaps. But what they did is, because their defence was always quite deep, we couldn't get around the sides. We couldn't get around the back. And like Pirro didn't have a shot in the box all game, as far as I believe.
Which is just,
So, and when you say like Leicester vibes or Burnley vibes, it was much more Burnley. But as Sean said, for once, we found a way to score a goal in a different way. We didn't have to pass it around someone, but make a goal all the time, like we did Swansea, Cardiff, where it was. Aronson scored. It wasn't Swansea, was it?
Oh yeah.
And like, we need to score more goals from the edge of the box, outside the box, like Snaka did at Hull. Suddenly, we had nothing that game. We weren't really doing anything. Snaka just bangs one in. Great, go again. This game, like it wasn't Leicester vibes really. It wasn't the end, the emotion, but actually we didn't break them down. There was no free flowing move. We didn't even, we had so few shots on target, but we found a way. We found a different way, which I know you're going to go on and talk about anyway. And that's the most important aspect of this. Like actually scoring goals in the edge of the box, finding corners, etc. Yeah. You've got to do it, and you have to do it higher up as well.
Yeah, 100%.
I totally agree. Andy, that would definitely a pass back to Rothwell.
Yeah, Andy says here, don't get me wrong, the match finish was memorable, but the subs were rather fortuitous. Another 10 versions would have been a draw at best. Ramazani pass shot could have gone in it. Yeah, no, that's very true, Andy. But what I will say is you make your own luck, and when you think of the reverse fixture, what happened with Melier, the Melier incident, we dropped 2 points there. You make your own luck, yeah, it was, but it's one of those memorable moments that will probably live with me forever. It were only one game of football, it was 3 points, but you've got to live for those moments. It's not a case of we're playing poorly, losing every week, and everyone's jumping on the bandwagon because we played really well. You've got to remember, the pattern is we win games. So the fact that we didn't play too well and we won as an outlier, great. It just goes into continuous run of results we're having at minute. Do you get what I mean? If it was a case we've been playing poorly, we're clinging on to something here, I'd understand that, but that's not the case. We're pumping pretty much every team we play, and this is an outlier because we scrape by. But sometimes you've got to scrape by, mate. That's the thing in the boys. Yeah.
Like the pressure paid off, but Andy's absolutely right in what he says. In different timelines, etc. Yeah, 98 of them we might not win. Absolutely. But 100%. By the way, as well, I wasn't looking at the bench and going, he needs to come on. No one on the bench is in that good a form to go, Solomon's got to come up. None of them looked that knackered. James kept running. Solomon kept doing. Solomon wasn't quite on it. Firpo wasn't quite. But it's like there's no left back to bring on. There's no one better than Solomon. So and he wasn't like miles off it. So I wasn't looking at the bench going, they've got to do this. And if you brought him 10 minutes earlier, anything different could have happened as well. It's actually really inspired substitutions, I think.
Did any of us think them two would be the substitutions to come on first?
No.
Not Strauch. Rothwell, yeah. I thought Rothwell would come on. Rothwell, exactly. Gruev. I thought that was the first sub.
Let's give flowers where it's, to me, I think it was he meant to do that. It was a tactical decision.
He did. He did mean to do that. It's interesting to go, I wasn't sure that was fit enough.
And it's paid off. That's what I think, anyway.
Yeah, sorry, Sean.
So just so you know, in the chat, if I ignore any of your comments, I'm starring them for later. So don't think, he's missed one for the change. It's not like Matty. I'm starring some of these comments.
It means they're the good ones.
For later. It does.
The really good ones. Sorry.
No offense to everybody else. Yeah. I'm starving some. If I miss some out, I'm starving some that'll help the conversation later on. So, you see this one? Danny's just put Matty's drive home vlog. Could see tears in his eyes. As you saw, I was so emotional. I say I voice noted. I don't know if I did it on chat or I voice noted to Adam direct, but I says obviously you see a lot. When a team wins like that and the fans celebrate like we celebrate. Not when we win, but when we win like that, it's reminiscent of the Leicester ending, like we said earlier. But like I said to you, Adam, I don't get nothing from Leeds United winning titles, do I? I don't get a bonus. I don't get no money. I don't get to take the medal or the trophy home with me. 100 years from now, it's all melted down. It's used for something else. Don't fucking matter. What matters is the moment you're in right now, the memories you cherish going through your life, and moments like that stood on that terraces with two strangers either fucking side of me. I tell you what, boys, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Unbelievable moment, right? And that's what I live for. I live for my family. I live for hard work, but I live for moments like that. And that showed, and I was emotional. I came out close to tears, and I might get that feeling once a year, once every couple of years if you're lucky. But when you get it, you've got to savor it. You've got to enjoy it. Because then the next game's only around corner and that moment can just go like that. We could be talking about something totally different come Monday night. but you've got to enjoy that moment when it happens. So for anyone saying it's, which I've seen online, it's just 3 points. Look at Leeds. I think they've won league already. I couldn't care less what you think. I'm going to enjoy it. You don't tell me how I feel about watching a game of football. And this is why I got annoyed with the Millwall game in the FA Cup. I understand people not bothered, focus on this, focus on that, but it's a game of football, and I'm so emotionally invested. This is all you're going to get on this channel from me. You're just going to get a guy that wants his team to win, and when he wins, I'm going to feel emotion. I'm going to feel happy. I'm going to feel sad. I'm going to cry because I'm happy. I'm going to cry because I'm sad. That's just me in a nutshell, guys, and no one's going to take that away from me. No one.
Honest, like so I was watching in my living room, like that's football, isn't it? We all, like, people in the chat, we're all Leeds fans. We all love Leeds United. We all gave our hearts to them, like, and we have no control over what they do with it. And we just hope that things nice like that happen. And you say, like, something that happens, like, it's just an emotional thing, like, and it builds up inside you. You don't know how to quite handle it. I didn't. I was like, okay, I don't. Do I want to headbutt the wall? Do I want to, run into the wall? What? Do I want to cry? Like, it's overwhelming almost. Like, it's just sitting there going, yeah, I'm sitting in my living room, supporting something that's miles away from me. Like, just I love this thing that's on the TV, and I'm just sitting there screaming, shouting. Next comes out, I've got neighbours. I go, neighbours, like, like, just going nuts for no reason. I'm singing Marshall Doe, I'm singing We Predict Right, just top of my lungs, whatever time it was. And it's just because we all love it so much. And but the thing is, everyone is chatting, everyone gets it. We all obviously we all react to different emotions, but we all get the emotion because we all had it.
Yeah,
100%. I say
even Daniel Farke's got the emotion. That was white mental celebration for him, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, before we go into that, because I want to touch on that as well. But like I say, Danny, I will have enjoyed that because it had jeopardy in the game. Yeah, it's what I
hate it. I hate it.
No, some people do. You'd rather just win 5-0 every week, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
I would rather not. But then after being there for Cardiff 7-0, I think I would rather have 7-0 every game. To be fair, but. Yeah, it's one of
those fans, like, championships, like, to get to the Premier League is a journey, and we're just on the journey, winning the game, everything. Just get there, like. I feel like I can enjoy the Premier League more than Championship, obviously, because we haven't got to win every game. There's not that pressure. Like I said the other day to you, Matty, or I might say Sean as well. 20 minutes in, everyone's going like, it's all just tension, apprehension because we're not scored a goal. Premier League, it's just different. We've got to win less games to be successful. We haven't got to win every game to be successful. There's so much pressure in the Championship to get promoted.
No, 100%. What I'll say about the Sunderland game, though, to sort of end it, is sometimes you've got to find another way to win. And we've seen the great football, we've seen the great attacking football, goals from everywhere. To win it that way, to win it with a free kick coming in box, to win it with a bit of luck for that second goal, a lot of luck in that second goal. I've seen someone saying, chat, that he thinks it might have been a shot by Rothwell, the missed kick by Ramazani, it all combined into, a fortuitous chance, fair enough, but to win that way, it's something we don't see Leeds United do very often. We don't see Leeds. I think in the last 8 times we've conceded first, we've lost. I think we've only won 1 of the last 8 games we've conceded first. So that's another milestone for Leeds to, get over. As you get into the crunch games, it's all these, obviously Sheffield United, West Brom and Sunderland were like a big run. But after that, we've got some tricky games, Millwall, QPR away, the mental scars that us Leeds fans have in these fixtures.
Yep.
We need to be winning games at a time. We need to be showing mental steel. We know we can play football. There's no, we know that. We don't need to see that. As much as I want to see another 7-0, we know it's in the locker. But have we got it in us to go and come back against a decent side when we're 1-0 down as backs against the wall? We have, because I just saw it on Monday night. We have, lads. We've banked that too now.
Yeah.
We're scoring headed goals from centre half, so we're getting 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We've got it all in locker now. Go do it. It's all up to us now. It's all there. There's nothing missing this season. There's nothing missing this season. We thought we needed playing in January. We didn't fucking need that either. There's nothing missing. It's all there for them to go do the business. And 111 points is what we can end on. Yep. The record is 106. Means we can drop 5 points. I'm telling you now, clip this up. This up. We will draw 2 games. We'll drop 4 points. We will finish on 107 points. And Reading, Yapstam, stick that up your ass. We are absolutely romping it. We ain't
dropping points. It really is.
Losing. We can. I'm allowing for two draws. That's it, boys. I will live and die on my sword on that one, my shield on that one. I'm telling you now. That's how I feel.
It's getting exciting, isn't it? That we can
look how animated I am. Honestly, I've been waiting.
Even that 100 mark, even the 100 points, I'm buzzing with the 100. And it's so doable. It really is.
100%. Please, please go check out Sean at Wilco White's. His link's in the chat.
Cheers,
Danny will
guys.
be putting in his link
Thanks,
as
Danny.
well. So, yeah, any links that get put in the chat by my mate Danny, please check everybody else out. The regulars know who I'm talking about. I'm sure you're already signed up, but yes, please check them out too. What's this? Nige, I hope you're well. Rumours that the Blunts may go 3 in midfield against us Monday. Maybe we should too. For me, it's a must not lose. Yeah, it's definitely a must not lose. I would accept a draw, though. I think we can get 3. But I tell you what, Nige, if they go 3 in midfield, I worry. We struggle against 3s in midfield. I remember Southampton last year. We do struggle against 3 in midfield. I always feel like we need to bring someone in to sort of counteract that. I don't know how you think about it, Adam, but it worries me if they play straight 3 in midfield. I won't lie.
I think you got a 10 there that's already to drop in and actually do the defensive work of an 8 anyway in Aronson. So, but I don't think Farke will change that. If Aronson's in the team, he'll be playing 10. So I don't think that quite lends itself, but he's not going to change regardless, is he? There should be a bit more space for Aronson, more space for the fullbacks probably as well. And probably less committed on the break, etc. So if we can control the game, we'll struggle to break them down. They've got 3 midfield, but I think there'll be less of a threat on the break.
Yeah, but I think Coventry had played the 3 in midfield, and we handled that because the work rate it was Tanaka and Gruev, wasn't it, in there, and then obviously Aronson. We coped with it well. Now, obviously, Sheffield United are a different story out there. You'd say they're a better team, but I think we can cope. I really do. It doesn't worry me at all that they're going to play 3 in midfield.
Well, Aronson's brilliant.
Just creates more space for us elsewhere. That's what I see it as.
Sorry, Sean. Aaronson's brilliant taking on defensive responsibility. There's no doubt about that. So I don't think we go overrun if Aronson's at 10, because I think he will naturally drop in and finds people to mark. He'll always drop onto the deepest lying centre of them, with the DM anyway. So it's not like, I don't think it'll be a problem defensively. I think it actually could create more opportunity for us.
It will. I think if they do, it'll create more space in other areas for us.
Yeah.
Like it did against Coventry, i.e. probably out wide. So bring it on.
We build up with a 4, don't we? With the 2 centre backs and the 2 DMs, the fullbacks push right on. If you're 3 in midfield, the wingers go with the fullbacks, and you leave one guy marking the 4, unless you push it on, and then that third midfielder ends up playing as a 10 anyway. So it's all like or we've got complete control of the game in the build-up. We'll struggle to get through the lines eventually, but we will have 70%. If they play in 3 in midfield, we'll have 70% possession.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, don't worry me that at all.
Before we go too much into the preview for the Sheffield United game, let's bring up the predictions table for Adam to take over on this one.
Yeah, it's not a fix, as Sean is top.
Oh, is it? Sean's top. Oh, what's going on?
Right, let's go back to the start. If anyone doesn't know, so we do a predictor for every game. So you put a score in and your goal scorer. You get 3 points for a correct score, 1 point for a correct result, and 1 point for if you're the goal scorer, right? You only put 1 goal scorer in. So even if you haven't played so far, even there's lots of ones as well. So lots more people played last week. It was brilliant. Yeah, it took me a bit longer, but it was brilliant. So we have a top 5, and then a couple on 4, a few on 3. Sean Wilco White is top. Well done, Sean.
Unreal.
Yeah, with 9 points. Righteous 1 second with 7. Andy Rowe 3rd with 7. Top Bananas 4th with 6, and Danny is 5th with 5.
Ooh, go on, Danny.
So everyone just keep getting them in, because I say there is a prize which I'll
behind you.
I'll attempt to point at it.
Come on.
Good
lad. Get in.
Right there.
Get in.
Which is a signed canvas Burnley Banksy. I'll say Burnley.
Class.
Burnley Banksy.
Burnley Banksy.
God. Yeah, which is the prize. Whoever comes first at the end of the season. It's all to play for.
So you need to put your predictions in for the Sheffield United game starting now. So bang your score in and bang your 1 goal scorer in. Just one goal scorer. Either way, if you want. I'm sure there'll be Leeds goal scorers, or they should be, or you're on the wrong channel. But so get them in, and Adam will have a busy time before Monday getting them all into his table. But yeah, really, really good bit of fun this. I'm a bit annoyed Sean Wilco White's top, to be fair. I'm not going to lie. It looks like a fix, but it is what it is, fair play.
If Sean wins, I'm not sending that, by the way.
Honestly, Sean. Sean, mate, you just spend all bleeding week in an hot tub with your chest out doing shorts for your YouTube channel, getting scores right, being top at league. He's just a G at minute, isn't it? He just walk around
6 points on correct scores. I said 2-1, didn't I?
Sean,
2-1 Leeds against Sunderland.
Do you just wear a robe and slippers at work? Do you just strong like you won't gaff like with a cigar in mouth like? Just loving it.
The thing, Sean. So yeah, Sean's been sending me and Matty videos all week of him in a hot tub. And I've not been sure whether to nickname him Aquaman or SpongeBob, but I've been somewhere in between the two.
I've not heard Sean's voice until tonight without splashing in background. It's been a very awkward week.
Yeah.
Very awkward week.
Like Little Mermaid, isn't he?
It's been a hard week, really.
Yeah, a bit too hard, I think, Sean. That's the problem.
So I'm still relaxed.
Right then, so get that off the screen. And then we will. I want to touch on
by the way, if that I'm pointing the wrong way probably. If there is any contentious bits, I will look back over it. So if you think I'm going right points total, shout. But only if you're serious, because otherwise I'll be there forever. But if you do think you should have more points than this in there, I will check over it.
This is where we get flagged up for what we do later on, and all chat goes. So I'm just going to make sure I bring every single comment up, mate, before it all happens again. But I'd like to get your thoughts on, lads, before we jump into the Sheffield United preview side of the show. Some of the talking points this week. So the 49ers with the Rangers takeover and all this. I mean, I don't know much about it because you know me. I don't like reading, also known as I can't read. But yeah, so I haven't done too much looking into it. I watched Joe Blackburn's take on it. He sort of put me at ease a little bit. I mean, I'll just put my 2 pennies in before I hand it over to you. Without knowing much of the information, what I would say is, even if it were a full takeover of everyone who's involved in Leeds United, which I don't think it will be, but if it was to Rangers, I don't know why people would lose a head. There's more money being a Premier League side than there has been a Scottish side playing in Europe. It's just a fact. You know, you've got to get your head around an owner is an owner. They put money into the club with and the forecast to take more money out of the club. That's an owner. That's what they do. They put money in to get money out. So they want to be successful at Leeds, which means they get more money, which means we get success. We get to watch a team win football matches and go up that table. So that's just how it is. There's lots of multi-club models in the world that are doing well.
Yep.
I don't think people should be losing their head over it, but that's sort of where I am on it. I'm cool about it. I don't think they're going to be too focused on somewhere else than Leeds United. Leeds United will definitely have their whole focus. There's a big team of people. It will be done correctly. It will be done right. We ain't going to suffer, I don't think, for any attention being elsewhere. I'll let you guys have a little chat about it. What do you think?
Do you go first, Sean?
You'll go first, Adam.
Okay. So, in November, Greta Steinson moved from Leeds United into the 49ers group to basically oversee the football side of a multi-club model. There wasn't another club. So it doesn't come as a surprise. They've got to buy another club to do a multi-club model. So I asked some questions because there was some questions around whether it was 49ers or Mraf by himself. So I asked some questions to someone that is in the know, or a bit in the know. And he said, as far as he's aware, it's 49ers. And everyone up there is saying 49ers are the investment. Loads of clubs do multi-club models. It's not like it does. So it depends so sometimes it's where you're on a period. So Udinese and Watford did it. Watford got up because Udinese loaned them 8 or 9 players in their first season, Forestieri, etc. It made a massive difference to them. And then Watford become the big club in that. And then if you're at the top of the tree, there's not a lot in it for you as a club because you can't be, it's not like RB, Salzburg sell all their players to Leipzig. That's what they do. And they play the same way throughout the whole network. That's one thing they do. We're a little bit different though. We are owned by an investment arm of something that only gets a return. There's no dividends in football, right? It's no like, make money in Champions League, then they can take money out. There's no money coming in for transfers, they can take money out. It's because it all gets reinvested. Yes, we might make a profit this year. There won't be, but none of the investors are in it for a dividend. They're in it for a Premier League club that's top 6, top 8. UEFA, whatever it is, Champions League, and then when they sell it for X amount, so they bought something that's lower in value to then sell it for more value, and that's exactly what we're doing with Rangers. Now, if there may be some crossover in terms of football, that's why Grettenstein's there. He'll probably make some identity towards it. It may be that Joseph's on loan next year to Rangers. It may be Schmidt is, for example. They could both play alone at Rangers next year, for example. So it works quite well for us in terms of that. We've got a little bit of control over where they're loaned to, and maybe even not minutes necessarily. Obviously, it's two separate clubs. It may be just two parallel clubs. 49ers own them both. They build them up. They build up their revenue. They build up their reputation, and then they sell them for 10 times more value in the future. Either way, every part of that works for both clubs. Every part of it. So I can't see a downside. Maraf's not there every day. Micromanaging Leeds United is not.
No, it's not.
Angus Kinnear manages us. He is our. If you look on Company's House, Angus Kinnear is our MD. He's not a CEO. He's the MD, managing director of Leeds United. So he might be for Everton. That might be something completely different. But he's there running the club day to day, and then then everyone else below him. It's nothing to. 49ers don't do the day to day of Leeds United. There's people on the board that are doing the overall, the stadium development, the community development, the money from corporate, the money from shirt sales, whatever it may be. So I can't see, in a business sense, I can't see any negatives in this whatsoever. And they'll talk about when it happens, strategic partnership, that'll probably mean very little to us on the outside. Maybe some scouting, and say maybe some loan players, maybe sharing some information. It could work, but it's like the final 5%, the final 2% of how a football club works and what aids us to be a successful football club, that sort of stuff. So it probably makes very little difference to us, other than say we might see a couple of players loan there. There's no doubt. I can't see a downside, and I've thought quite a lot about it, as you can probably tell.
You have, mate.
Yeah, but we don't know. None of us know how big of an investment it's going to be. They're going in with a separate American investor. So it could only be it might only be a 10% share. Who knows? It's not going to be nothing massive, and it's nothing to.
Can I stop Sean? Sorry, can I just say on this, because it's quite. I asked someone properly in the know, and I sent the message to Sean and Matty. They've seen it, and he's done his research, and it's been spread like this, like on general terms. But as far as Maraf's been at the 49ers for 25 years. He's a 49ers man. He ain't just going to go on his own. And by the way, guys, I'm chair. Yeah, great. You may be chairman. I'm going to go buy a bit of Rangers. Like, oh, okay. Have fun, mate. Off you go. Yeah. Oh, can you still do both? Yeah, of course I can do both. Don't be so silly. That's not how this works.
Yeah.
It's not at all.
And it's like I said to you, other Premier League clubs are doing it. I think it was Bournemouth. Did they own part of Hibs? Nobody knew about that, really. It's not a big thing. And if it were any other team, bar Rangers, because they're in Great Britain, it wouldn't be a big issue. Let's not start thinking that, oh no, they're going to buy Rangers and now they're going to sell Leeds, and because I've heard this crazy talk. No, we're not. It's not happening. Leeds is going to be in the Premier League, touching wood, next season. We're going to be up there. It's going to be the main thing that they're going to be focused on. Let's find out first what the investment is before anyone starts worrying about whether Leeds, that's it, they're going to sell up to Red Bull, which is total nonsense. We're not selling it up to Red Bull. It's just, let's just leave them to it. They know what they're doing. Like you said, Adam, if it happens, it's a good place. Maybe we could send us youth players up to Scotland to play, or i.e. Joseph. It's got to be a win-win situation, this. I can't see it being where, even pulling money out of the club to buy a stake. It's total rubbish, isn't it? That's not ever happening.
That's not how business works.
We're a separate entity, and that's how it's going to stay.
It's not. You can't just pull money out of a limited company or public. You can't just pull money out of a company. Yeah. That's not how business works. No. It's got to be.
And I tell you what, like you said as well, Matty, there's more money with us being in the Premier League.
There is
with Rangers even playing in the Champions League. So we need to just stop that. The money, we will be the.
I think when things are going bad in life, you clutch at straws to look for something good. I think as Leeds fans, when things are going good, we tend to look for something bad because it feels alien to us that everything's going good.
Yeah.
So this gets broke in press, and everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people lose their heads over it.
I've only seen it on YouTube.
If anybody thinks so,
I haven't seen it on any.
If anybody thinks so, lads, that they're going to risk anything, happening with Leeds. The timing's pretty poor. If it were a big deal, if it was something massive, which I don't think it is, the timing's pretty bad when you're going for a promotion push. This is why I don't think there's. I'm not saying there's not much in it. It could be everyone who's involved with Leeds could take over Rangers, but I don't think it affects the day-to-day running of Leeds. Like for the points you've said, Adam, everyone's in place at Leeds. You're not going to all of a sudden see all these people who work in Leeds and flick the light switch on and off at end at night. Go, oh, I'm going up to Scotland. It's not happening. They're at Leeds United. They can own it and they can get a team to run it or do whatever they want, just like they've got at Leeds United. And yeah, there might be money going there. But we've got look at the money that's in that club. Like Adam says, you can't just start going out in Leeds United's pot of money and going, right, we'll send some of that to Scotland. You can't do that.
No, that's
not how it works.
They're separate limited companies.
They've got their own money in 49ers Enterprise that will never even go to Leeds United. They'll have their own, their own that we'll never see. Come on.
49ers Enterprises, and I'm not quite sure. I was trying to do some research on this because there's a global 49ers football side as well, which is registered to Leeds United. And Raf's the only person on there. I was trying to work out what this is. But 49ers Enterprises own Leeds United. They own several other businesses. They're not funding those businesses or Leeds United. Then none of them are funding each other. They get when someone invests. They're not buying shares. So Will Ferrell invest. It's an equity investment. The money he puts in goes into the pot. It doesn't go unless you're buying someone's shares. It's always an equity investment. It goes into the pot and then they can do. Don't get me wrong. They do well there. That doesn't matter. But it's not. No money's coming out anywhere. It's all just going in. Now it's like, and also by the way, hierarchy management. All that's happened here. So Greta Steinson has gone above. So he's now. So what will actually end up is a bigger hierarchy, a bigger overseeing of Leeds United, and a better management structure via this. So honestly, I don't know why I can't quite understand the conclusions people are jumping to. It's one of those things, by the way, as well. All this positive I'm saying about it, potentially, if people weren't reporting it, but none of us even know about it. Like it's just like because in a year's time, none of us will know about it because nothing will change on the outside. So. Like, just don't worry about it. It
nothing
can
we
only
need
be
to
a
be
positive.
worried about at all.
Trust us. Like, and by the way, so 49ers might go in the Premier League next year. They might get an offer following summer for X amount. They might sell Leeds United because that's the nature of it. And I go, great. That's a sweet spot. There's enough money there. It could be sold to anyone, but that has no bearing on what they're doing with Rangers at all. Nothing.
No, you can't live your life in fear though, either, can you? Just get on with your life, and whatever happens, we just face it when it happens. You know what I mean? I'm going to live my life thinking, oh my God, we're going to be called Red Bull Leeds in 5 years' time. Let's just live in the moment. We might not be here in 5 years' time.
We've got exciting times coming ahead. We've got the new stadium build. Let's get excited about that. Come on.
This is funny though, isn't it? Leeds on top says here Rangers have been staying there a much bigger club than us. It's a madness. Oh, Imagine not being Leeds and believing everything you read and hear. Yeah, that's right, mate.
Exactly, mate. Yeah.
Exactly. As long as any other involvement outside LUFC doesn't affect the LUO, it's not going to, mate. They're not going to do anything that affects our long-term life.
They've got to grow the value of Leeds United. They've got to grow the turnover. They're going to grow the turnover of Leeds United massively by having a more corporate. Yeah. And they've got to invest in Leeds United. So if you invest 50 million, then you get 20 million back each season or whatever it is by having that extra capacity, corporate, or what they call GC, general. Was it? Oh, GA, isn't it? General mission. So like it's that's Angus's line. Then it's all about growing Leeds United. To sell Leeds United for profit, you've got to be a successful football club. You got to grow the brand and you got to grow the turnover. And by the way, and then it's all relevant. Profit will not grow because you have to reinvest the money on the pitch and in the stadium, everything else to keep that going. So actually, so it's not about profit and taking money out. None of it is because that's not football. To make a profit as an investor, you've got to sell the club.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a great point by Easy. The 49ers have been brilliant in terms of providing us with a very competitive team, both last season, this one. That's what people have got to remember. I've seen a lot of people say, all the money we got for Somerville and Rutter and Archie Gray, and we haven't spent it. I'll be honest with you, have we needed to spend any? And I know it all comes in installments. Some people think we just got 100 million. That's not how it works, obviously. But have we needed to spend any money? Or have the 49ers been actually really smart businessmen and really smart at knowing what to do with a football club, regardless of their business? Look what competitive side we've had for the last 2 seasons. Should we have gone up last season? Yes. Were we nearly there? Yes, we were. 90 minutes away from it, weren't we? Let's be fair. A lick of paint on the crossbar away from Dan James equally. We almost got there last year. Look at the side he's built this season. Look at the side that they built this season. They haven't done much wrong in my eyes. I'm seeing a side go on that pitch and get an average of over 2 points per game over the course of nearly 2 seasons now. It's actually ridiculous what we're doing. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And if you're not enjoying this now, I don't know when you ever will, because I'll be honest with you, when it comes down to watching a team play football every week, going at home and away, going to watch a team play football, this is as good as it gets, guys. This is regardless of level, whether you're in League Two. If you're winning every week and it's your team, this is as good as it gets. Simple, simple. So we can moan about. I tell you what, I've moaned in action in chat since we started talking about the 49ers, which means it's a hot topic. But
it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Everyone's confident. We're all confident. I understand the nervous energy. I understand. We don't want anything to derail anything. But you just got to look at it. The money they've put in. Look how close we are. They want what we want. A successful Leeds United, and I think we'll leave it at that. Unless you've got such
the investment in the players, etc. They've built a really good squad. To say there's been a lot of investment in wages. Like we got the highest wages in ever in Championship, I believe. Like there's been a lot of investment. By the way, the proof in the pudding is this summer. All that money we made last summer. Now there's payoff next summer. Like we need to spend that extra money. Because that's okay. Yeah, great. Because you're right. Installments, all that cash flow, when's the cash there? Structuring new deals, structuring wages, amortizing contracts. There's loads to this. There's loads more to it than just saying, "Oh, we did buy a player for £10 million." We either have enough or we don't. And if it looks like we've got enough and plenty, like Andy said, he wants results on the pitch, not shiny new stadiums. It all comes hand in hand. If we want to grow as a club. Now, they won't build this stadium if we couldn't pack it out. We know we can get 50,000 easy into a stadium, right? Imagine that. And for me, it all comes hand in hand. It really does. We'll grow together, grow the squad on the pitch, and grow the club as well. 100%. To be successful, like Adam's just said.
100%. And like Night says there, all owners are in it for financial return. It's a business to them. It's not just the 49ers. That's everybody. Don't matter who we had running the club. They're all in it for none of these. It's very rare you're going to have someone who supports your club and has an absolute pot full of money who just wants to play Football Manager. It just doesn't happen. I know you have sometimes with Saudis and stuff who appear to be that way, but it just doesn't happen. They're in it for one reason, and that is to make money. But to make money, you've got to be successful. So it comes hand in hand. We get success, we enjoy his football team, and they get money at the end of it. That's just how it is. Regardless of 49ers, that's what every model is for every club for me. Right then, so I want to touch on the best 11 going forward now, because looking at the side, we've had all season now, haven't we? Multiple players who can play in the same position. You've got 4 wingers, only 2 positions, 4 centre midfielders, only 2 positions. This season, he hasn't really had to pick that midfield for him. The injuries have sort of picked it for him, with Gruev being out and obviously Ampadu being out, Rothwell and Tanaka. Obviously, Gruev and Ampadu come back, and then Strout gets injured. And it's this is the first time now, I'd say, the Sheffield United game now, where I would say Strout probably is fit enough to start, I would assume. But we're in a position now, lads, where I think we all think Tanaka and Ampadu, but Farke has finally got that decision to make, which he hasn't really had to make all season. Am I right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now it's time to make it, and I just wanted your take on the not best 11. We sort of know everybody else, but what do you think he should do? What do you think he will do?
I think the only thing is Strout comes in centre back. I think that's fairly straightforward. He's fit enough. He should play. Ampadu goes back into midfield, and then you play Tanaka home and away, because he can do both jobs. He can do the attacking bit and he can do the defensive bit. And with teams sitting back, he can play 10 yards further forward. If they're on the attack, he can play 10 yards deeper. So I think it's straightforward. I thought Aaronson was poor against Sunderland. Again, he's more a defensive 10, which is a crazy thing to say. First time I've ever said that about anyone in football, but he is. But that's probably the only way to get Rothwell in is play him 10. But Farke isn't going to do that. So it's a bit of a moot point, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to...
Yeah.
I think what I would do, and you think you know what's coming, don't you?
I might.
I don't actually, no. I'm thinking a hot tub and your shirt off.
I've been thinking a lot. I think Strout's got to start. He's got to start.
Sorry, Sean. Come on, mate.
It won't like that. You know it won't like that. There were private videos I sent you.
And they'll stay that way, mate. They'll stay that way. Come on, mate. Come on,
so Strout comes in.
He's going to do it. I know he's...
For me, I think Rothwell's been fantastic.
I
think he brings so much to the team. His energy. He does win the ball back. His passing. His set pieces. So for me, I think you've got to play Rothwell and Tanaka. I think they've been the best. I think they've been the best pairing since Gruev got injured and Ampadu got injured.
Rothwell and Tanaka.
And I think Ampadu comes out. But He won't do it, won't Daniel Farke?
What I'll say, can I just jump in while it's fresh in my memory, mate? What I will say is, it was working, and it's a brilliant partnership. It is, and that's all we had, so we went with it. But what I will say is, we didn't win many games away from home in that partnership, Paul. Away from home, we didn't win many.
That's fine. But that's what I believe. I just really like Rothwell.
Oh, I love him.
In the midfield, I think he brings more than what Ampadu does. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's an Arden.
But he won't do it. Daniel Farke won't do it. He'll go to Naka Ampadu.
The whole, I say at Watford, the whole eyes and ears of Ampadu being Farke's eyes and ears on the pitch. You see it. He's just shouting. They're just shouting at each other all the time. And then Ampadu talks to someone like it's. He's not going to do it because he's his captain. He's giving team talks all week. He's, like all sorts of things. He's too important. He's too big a player. And I think, but on the captaincy side, I know people can go, what about Liam Cooper, etc. But Ampadu also, for me, he gets the best team in the league as a DM.
Yeah, I think so.
I see what you're saying. Like, you're right. So, I mean, ultimately, you're trying to find a role for Rothwell on the side, aren't you? Like, because Rothwell's a very good player.
Yes.
He obviously adds a lot all round. But, I think I would like to see in the future, in Premier League, I'd love to see a 4-3-3 more than a 4-2-3-1. Yeah. I think that would be a lot more solid. And I think Rothwell, actually, on that base, could actually be signed in the summer. But, I just he's not going to change. He's not. You said it yourself, Sean. He's going to play Ampadu and Snacker, isn't he? I think Snacker. By the way, someone said earlier, what depends the horse course is depends on the match. I think you always play that because Ampadu's the best sitter. He cleans everything up against any side, and Tanaka can do the defensive role, but he can do the offensive role as well. He seems to be
the only midfielder as well who will shoot. No, he won't.
He won't drop him because he's captain.
But best thing about pushing Tanaka further up the pitch is he seems like the only centre midfielder who actually don't mind having a shot. Because for as much as Rothwell can shoot, he doesn't tend to shoot. He tends to feint and pass to left or to right. Gruev, Ampadu, they're not really, shooters known for shooting from outside box. At least Tanaka has a go. So I don't mind that. I don't mind Ampadu sitting. And for me, Tanaka's great with ball. His first touch is good. He's great in tight spaces and he can pass. So really, can he do the Rothwell job to that level? I would say so. We just haven't seen it that regular because he has to do both jobs, hasn't he? I would say Tanaka playing further forward, you'll get the same sort of output me as Rothwell. I think.
Look what Tanaka does when we're playing Gruev. He has to get the ball to centre backs. He has to be the deep of the two to get involved more touches deep. But then also when we're then pushing forward, Gruev drops behind him, and Tanaka then is the one that gets more involved in attack. So he sort of has to do both roles when he plays because he's better at everything. Yeah. So Ampadu will always be if he's playing, he'll be the one that drops in between, and then Tanaka will be the one that's a bit more advanced. And I think I'd love to see him in that role. I know he'll always be involved with build up with the two DMs, but I think just a little bit further forward, and also knowing Ampadu's behind him because we never the centre midfielders are always backing the play up. You never see anyone get in the box, do you? I know Tanaka scored that guy in the corner, but you don't. They don't. We go wide. It's not like that extra man comes from them. It's always the fullback coming over. Yeah. I think Tanaka a bit more advanced. He won't get in the box, don't be wrong, but I think he can make a big difference. He can pick apart as well.
I saw this as well, Michael, in the Sunderland game. He stated clearly on substitutions that he could have replaced Ampadu for Strauch, but he corrected that by saying he would never replace his captain. I'm not sure about never. There might be an odd game and he might have to do in the future, I guess. But yeah, he definitely has said numerous times, hasn't he, about how much he rates Rothwell. He's made, some managers won't put the neck on line and single out a player. When it comes to his captain, he's singled him out so many times for high praise, and he's let us all know pretty much every time he's been injured that he comes straight back in his first name on team sheet every time. And he did say this as well, that he wouldn't replace his captain. Yeah. So he don't roll no punches in that. We know how he feels about it because he's so vocal about it. He's Farke. So proves it pudding. He starts every game when he's fit, but Farke even comes out to press and says he's my man, basically, doesn't he? He's his guy. Yep. So it's one of them. But yeah, I did think it was quite a decent talking point. It's something we spoke about all season. That centre midfield spot's been for discussion all season. What do we do when? What do we do when? What do we do when? Well, that when's actually come now. And I think we know it's Tanaka and Ampadu. So I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing that partnership sort of thrive going forward. Do you think when we talk about Rothwell for home games, Gruev for away games, do you reckon that might just be the sub now as opposed to a starter? Do you reckon away from home, Gruev comes in to shore it up? At home, Rothwell comes on like he did against Sunderland?
I think Tanaka's good enough all round to do that. He's probably better. If Ampadu's best defensive player, he'll play every game anyway, and Tanaka can do both roles. So it doesn't. I think the only rotation, maybe we've got 3 games a week that Rothwell comes in for Tanaka. I don't think Gruev. I mean, you may. I don't think. I mean, surely he's not going to go back to Gru Evans, Ampadu, is he? Like,
that's not what I want.
No,
I'd be
that's
fuming
my
if he
worry.
went,
That
yeah.
Ampadu is not bigger than the club. Easy says no. He's not bigger. No one's bigger than the club, mate. But yeah, he's not bigger than the club, but he's the best player in terms of the manager's eye. I think the manager rates him as the best player, the most important player anyway. He's definitely not the best player technically, but if the manager thinks it, then it's great for Ampadu who's going to play in it. One sec. Always want to try Raffle as a 10. Yeah, I agree. Problem is with that, as good as he is with ball at his feet, he probably isn't going to do the running that Aronson does, hence why no one really else has played there. I just want to touch this. Brian then to start a poll, who's bigger, Rangers or LSE?
He's definitely a Rangers fan then, Brian.
I'm not starting another poll, Paul. I've already got one on there and I don't know how to set you off. But I assume you're a Rangers fan, Brian, or fond of Rangers, because obviously I've seen it chat you're sticking up for Rangers quite a bit. Rangers are a huge club. They are massive club. Yeah, but they're not bigger than Leeds United. They're not.
He said the massive worldwide. Yeah, they might be, but so are Leeds United.
Yeah, they are.
The thing is, when I knew the multi-club model was coming, I've always presumed it'd be a smaller club. Rangers are massive. And they're one of the few clubs. Nearly every club in the world, I'd go, yeah, of course, Leeds are bigger than them. Rangers are one of the ones I'm because Rangers are huge. I certainly wouldn't say they're bigger than Leeds United, but I wouldn't say Leeds are miles ahead of them. Like, they're huge. They're both. Huge. The thing is, it's not what we're talking about. They're both massive clubs. Everyone could just agree with that.
Yeah, we can leave it at that. Please check out my mate Callum at Passion for LAFC Passion. Please click the link. Go check my mate out over there. Danny Rumsey's. Go check him out. We've got Peacocks and Whites link in there, and I'm sure Sean's at Wilco Whites. Please check the links out, guys. Please go send some love their way. Much appreciated. Thank you. Michael got subscribed to some. So yeah, please get over there. Anyone who isn't subscribed to those channels, please. I've seen this Hamer may not play after rubbing it. Yeah. Hopefully Hamer doesn't play against Leeds. So let's look at that Sheffield United game. Don't need to touch on our lineup. We sort of have touched on that already. Sheffield United, what are their threats? What do they pose to Leeds United? What's to worry about Sheffield United, lads, other than the obvious that the second best team in the league currently?
Yeah, but for me, they scrape a lot of games, don't they? I haven't really seen a lot of them, to be honest, Matty. I'll be honest, I haven't watched them. We know they have good players, and if Hamer is missing, it's a big loss for them. They've signed well in January.
True.
Like Betterton, Diaz, good signings. I just don't think they've got enough to beat us. Do
you think it's more about what we do as opposed to what you think? If we play our game, it doesn't matter what they do. Is that what you're saying, bud?
Yeah, that's it, mate. You know, I have looked at some stats before. You know, they don't always have a lot of possession and things like that, but they do grind out the wins. Reminding me, like I touched on Ipswich, a little bit like Ipswich last season. Again, they might be playing better football now. Recently, they've got these new players, but again, I haven't really looked much into them. But I just don't worry me. I'm not worried at all. I was more worried about the Sunderland game, Matty. Honestly, I really was, and that were at home. But even though we're away, I still think we're going to have enough for Sheffield United.
I hope so.
That's why I've gone for a 2-0 Leeds win.
Well, it's huge. It's huge if we win it, isn't it? Like, I think they've Rakasaki. I thought he'd come down and be one of the best players in the league. He's not really done that much. Has he? Had a few moments, but not many. O'Hara, I don't really rate O'Hara that. I shouldn't say it now, I'm sure, but I don't rate O'Hara that highly. I think
I'd have had him at Leeds, or Adam. I won't lie. I would have had him at the start of the season.
I couldn't care.
Start of season.
Potentially, but I wouldn't even then.
Really?
Diaz is a decent player. Cannon's maybe injured. Moore's maybe injured. I'd rather Cannon was fit than Moore. I think Moore suddenly just finds one rockets in the bottom corner. He finds goals sometimes, getting these big games. Did a lot for Ipswich last season. Sousa in midfield's a good player. I like him. I mean, he was rubbish. Oh God, he was laughable in the Premier League. And I think he's dropped off a little bit lately. I think Harry Souttar's a massive miss for them. I think he's a solid, 6'8" as well. Wins everything in the air. Good player for. I don't know if they're still playing. What's his face? The left-footed centre back. That's awful.
I can't remember his name.
Whatever.
Squad now.
Yeah, they've got some good players. I mean, they bought Harry Clark. I think is the biggest banter footballer I've ever seen in my life. I think he's absolutely awful. think lad from right back from Chelsea's not great. They've got some really average players, but they, they don't play very well. And they find ways to win games, and I wouldn't be, like they could do that against us as well. That sort of team, because I don't think the opposition matters much really. Whereas us or Preston or whatever, they'll play their same way. They won't string great moves together, but they've got good enough players to find those moments. Hamer's huge. If he's fit, I think he had so much to the team. He's their best player by a long way. He get in the team with every team in the league. If he's not fit, that's massive. That's the biggest one we can have.
I mean, good goalkeeper, aren't they, in Cooper? Decent keeper in Cooper. Yeah. They've signed that Chowdhury. So Hamza Chowdhury.
Yeah.
Sam McCallum, we've heard about him. Alfie Gilchrist, who you were on about there, Adam. Yeah, that shows that he's a good. That shows that he's a good midfielder.
Sean, you've managed, haven't you? I know it's like being kids football, but you've been involved in football. You play football. You've managed football.
Yes.
Seems how could it be detrimental to Leeds winning this game not having Farke on touchline? So I've heard he's allowed to be in before the game. He's allowed in the dressing room at half time and full time, and I don't think he's allowed to communicate during the game. Although I think you'll see him on his phone and stuff. There'll be ways around it. But do you think it's a massive problem for Leeds United not having him on touchline, mate?
No, there's all different. I mean, he's not that. What's the word?
Animated
on the touchline.
Apart from that one time when he got booked.
Apart from that one time, yes. But he ain't always normally sat in dugout. He's talking, he's
it's fair.
Practical guys.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think it's going to matter a lot. There's different ways now. Can they wear head pieces in their ears and stuff like that to communicate with a bench. Again, if you can talk to them before the game and at half time, that's all that really matters for me. I don't think it's going to hinder us much. That's what I'm going to say. Not much at all.
Okay.
The fact that the squad are so well drilled with this system that we play, they know exactly what they need to be doing. Come on.
Yeah,
they're not stupid,
but a well coached side out, mate.
But well coached, well drilled, well oiled machine. I think we just honestly, I don't think he needs to be on that bench all game. So no.
It could even go the other way, couldn't it? Could the players see that he's been banned, and they go, right, let's win this game for Farke. Let's make a point of this. It could end up being a positive as a one-off as well. It's hard to say how much it will affect him as a negative. Obviously he stands on touchline a lot. He does bark orders every now and then, but not a lot to the eye changes as sort of a fan watching it, to be fair. And you say the players know exactly what they're supposed to be doing together. They talk, and they've got some really smart, Ampadu, Tanaka. There's some really clever footballers out there that understand their role inside.
Yeah, there is,
and understand others' roles as well. Ampadu shouted at Solomon, we didn't track Trey Hume one. Yep. That hasn't happened at Leeds for a long time.
No.
Actually shouts another one, and that's
Tanaka's telling people as well. So he's got a lot of leaders on that field. Yes, it won't be a problem.
Can we just touch on that ban for Farke? Yeah. Absolutely absurd. So I don't know if you've seen the clip going around of the fourth official. Have you seen the clip going around of the fourth official before they booked him? So obviously we've scored. He's ran out of his technical area by about 4 meters, 5 meters, or 7 feet, or whatever it is. He then slipped, and then a player's jumped at him, and then he's sort of that's it, right? There's a different angle, and the fourth official, who apparently has got beef with Farke from past, genuine beef. Really? I think he's booked him before, and there's been some words. I watched Joe's take on it earlier, and he said basically, and it's in life, you think someone's a knobhead, you think that someone's a knobhead regardless. So he thinks his fourth official by sound don't like Farke. So what he's done is he's seen the build up to the goal happening, and before the ball's at the back of the net, the fourth official, instead of watching the game, looks over his shoulder and he's watching Farke. As soon as Farke will score and he leaves his technical area, straight on to the referee, books him instantly as soon as he leaves his area. And can I just say, in football, right, have some common sense. Yeah. You've already taken goal celebrations away at top flight with VAR and stuff like that. You don't know whether you can celebrate a goal these days at the top end of the game. To start booking managers for, bearing in mind, this guy is very reserved, very calm, very cool, calm and collected, doesn't really show much emotion, right? To book him in a moment where we've scored it 95th minute against the promotion rivals, 36,000 on a Monday night at Ellen Road, in that moment That's what you live for. That exact moment is unbelievable. Other than winning a trophy, a singular game, to win it that way, and you punished him and yellow carded him, you absolute knobhead. Like, what are we doing here if you can't enjoy that? And Farke said...
He didn't even take his top off.
No,
that's what you normally get booked for, isn't it? Taking your top off.
Sean's had about 13 yellow cards this week, haven't you, Sean, taking your top off? Anyway, I'm sick of talking about your chest. But Farke said, by the letter of the law, I aren't going to comment because, yes, the rule is I can't leave. I stepped six foot outside for 6 seconds. Farke says that words a couple of feet outside for 6 seconds. The letter of the law is I can't do that, so I'll take my booking. But I just think there's got to be a bit of common sense sometimes. I just think it's disgusting. I think it's absolutely disgusting. And I'd say that for any manager of any team. I just think let him enjoy the moment. Just wanted your take on
I've heard the fourth official being called a grass. I've thought it was a little bit harsh. He's just doing his job. But you're right. He might not like Farke for whatever reason. So he might be being an absolute twat about it. But like Arteta stands out of his technical area the whole game. He's literally on the pitch near the whole game, Arteta. Like, no one books him ever. All these dark arts nonsense he gets up to. Farke's just celebrating a goal. Don't worry about it. Like, you say, whatever the fourth official likes, but the referee should go, oh, it's a goal. Referee should come over as well and go, oh, well, where did he get to there? Well, he's back now. The opposition bench don't care. He's not gone up and goaded anyone. Get a life. Like, it's on the ref as well. Like, it's on both of them. The fourth official's done his job. The referee's done his job. They're both down to the letter of the law, but it's absolute nonsense.
Yeah, that's it, innit? You can't argue with rules, I suppose, but it takes the fun out of the game, doesn't it?
Just silly petty rules, isn't it?
You look back, Sean. Remember Mourinho for Porto running down and skidding on his knees at Old Trafford? Yeah. Like, their moments, you look back, you go, wow, what a moment. Like, let them just embrace the beauty of football. Stop putting handcuffs on everything in life. Yeah. Let us fucking live. Just let us live.
I'm amazed the substitutes and the guys on the bench are allowed to run right across the pitch to the other corner. I'm amazed they're all allowed to do that, to be honest. Like, they don't get booked for that.
Danny's got a good point there. Why won't rest at the subs then that ran onto the field?
Yeah, that's what Joe said earlier as well. Yeah,
I'm amazed that's allowed. Like, you see them and I think,
that's the difference.
Yeah.
The difference is the fourth official don't think Nonto and Gilavogi are twats.
Yeah, but even so, the referee's seen it all. He's seen every single one. He hasn't seen Farke. Farke's gone 6 yards. The referee could have gone, no, look, just leave it. He could have gone home and just gone, no, it doesn't, like, God, no one cares. He's not goading anyone. He's just come out of his technical area slightly, celebrating. 100%. Get over it. The referee should have done that as well. And if he's not doing that, the referee, if he thinks that is warranted booking, why is he not booking every single player that's run over them? Because they all warrant bookings. But whatever. Like, the inconsistency of it all just...
This is a good comment in it, Pierre Dollar. If Farke can't communicate with the bench during the match, then who decides subs? Well, all I'll say is the sub will get made on 70th minute, though.
Yeah, the stopwatch does.
He'll know. It'll just be a case of him and him for him and him. They don't even need to say when. There'll be no and I get what you mean. In a certain game, you'd be like, oh, it won't be. They'll already be decided before game. Won't they'll be? It might even be Pino on, off and Joseph on and. And he's got an assistant.
He's got an assistant, and the bench. His backroom team. He's worked with these for years. They'll know Daniel Farke and his tactics.
Absolutely.
So again, not worried one bit.
That's one of the things when they got Farke, when they wanted a manager that had the same backroom staff for a number of years, and this is where it should start paying off even more so. Hopefully.
Yeah.
That's right. Like Stephen says here as well, how many times do you see Arteta run down the touchline of the box and the Liverpool manager was always encroaching? Yeah, Jurgen Klopp used to do it all the time, didn't he? It's one of them that I think he just plays into some of the Farke just didn't like by the fourth official, but it is what it is. Like Easy said earlier, I don't think it'll matter. We've still got the team to beat Sheffield United regardless of that, and ultimately it might give the boys a kick up the arse to go perform better potentially.
That's it.
So that's sort of it on that. But we need to touch on... I always say touch on. We need to go into who won the poll last week.
Oh,
don't we? So the last week's winner of the poll was Mark Viduka. And before we talk about Mark Viduka, fingers crossed this is all right. Cheers, Adam. Got a little treat for you guys. Here we go.
Wow.
I almost took my top off then. Celebrated with him.
Wow.
What a player.
That is
classic, isn't he? Like, he looks like he should be giving you a quote for your extension rather than playing football. But I've not seen many players that big with that touch. I don't think I've seen any actually. Like, was 6'2", whatever, but he's that wide as well. Like, big lump, quality footballer.
Andy's right here, isn't he, Adam? He did used to win the games he didn't score in. He used to get a lot of this lazy. His body language might not look at it. I would assume I've not heard
like
anything.
That.
It is very, very similar, but I'd assume I've not heard anything. But I bet he wasn't the best trainer. I can imagine he's just one of those players who's just naturally gifted. It doesn't matter what he does for a week. He'll turn up on a Saturday and he'll perform. And I'll sort of open it. You know, I don't really go too much into this. It's where you come alive, Sean. Where you look into it. And you know a lot of these players now, and I just sort of want to touch on when you look at Viduka. I said to you before we came on air, didn't I, Sean, that any sort of big, talented, technical footballer now, it's credit to Matt Viduka, because even the people on Sky Sports who might wax lyrical about, your Liverpools and your Scum and your City and all these great players that play for these top sides, if you get a technically gifted big lump up top, they'll always get compared to Matt Viduka. They'll always bring his name up. They'll always name check Matt Viduka as, you said, Bergkamp-esque for the size of him, for the frame of him. He never had pace, so it didn't matter as he aged. It didn't really matter because he never lost it. He had a pace. He never had it to start with. His first touch was first class. It stuck. He was strong. He'd have knocked Ampadu into Cop, let alone shield him away from ball like Isidore did. He was one of probably the most technically gifted footballer as a striker I've seen play for Leeds United in my time. I don't think it's wild to say as a striker is a rarity to do everything he could do with a football and be such a big bloke. I mean, notoriously you think he'd be brilliant in the air, but actually better with ball at his feet. He was such a talent, and we got him from Celtic, and he came to Leeds and did the business. And I think you will have the stats of what he did for Leeds, but my greatest memories of Viduka are obviously that Liverpool game. And I had the poster on my wall, Liverpool 3, Viduka 4, and I remember that title, and it was just unbelievable moment and one that'll stay with me forever.
Yeah, you're right, and he had a good strike partner as well. He played with Smith, and then there were also Robbie Keane and even Robbie Fowler there at the same time. So he's played with some good strike partners, which we don't tend to do now. But so I'll get into him then. Started at Melbourne Knights. Then he played for Dynamo Zagreb. I think.
Yeah, did you?
About 3 seed, but he won League 3 times there with them. I didn't really notice him until he did move to Celtic. I think then the headlines started to come flowing in with him. He played from 1998 to the year 2000. In the 1999-2000 season for Celtic, he scored 27 goals and also got the PFA Player of the Year. That's when then we bought him. $6 million he cost. Crazy.
Might not be worth these days. Wow.
So, wow, yeah. So he came for $6 million. Instantly made an impact, scoring on his debut in a 2-0 win against 1860 Munich in the Champions League qualifier. Then, obviously, famous performances. There were the Arsenal game where we won 3-2, but it was the Liverpool game where he scored the 4 goals against Liverpool at Ellen Road. Absolutely, honestly, it was. I mean, like I say, he had Robbie Keane, Alan Smith, Robbie Fowler playing at Leeds at the same time as well, and he played. He was the Leeds top goal scorer. He 22 goals in that year 2000. Getting us up to, I don't know if it was 5th place, I think, in the Premier League. Then it started to decline. Obviously, there were player sales, like we sold Rio Ferdinand. We didn't get into that Champions League that year, and we had to sell players, and that's what started happening. Yeah, even though we sold players, he became one of the key men, and even in the relegation season, he scored 11 goals, which included like a hat-trick against Charlton. I'll remember that. But it all came to an end when we got relegated, and his final game against Bolton, he ended up getting sent off. So it just symbolised the disastrous campaign it was, of Leeds getting relegated. We then had to sell him to Middlesbrough. But his time at Leeds, 166 appearances, 72 goals. Again, you said it, Matty. Strength, composure on the ball, technical ability was fantastic. The goals you've just seen there, sublime, some of them. Overall, a Premier League record, I looked this up as well, because he did play for Middlesbrough and then he went to Newcastle as well, but he had a lot of injuries towards the back end of his career. But he still played 240 Premier League games, scoring 92 goals and having 28 assists. But again, he'll always be remembered as one of the greatest strikers, especially in the early 2000s, that we had at Ellen Road.
Brilliant.
You say big guy, great link player. The thing is, we built the best team I've seen at Leeds United around him. Like O'Leary would never take him off. Like everyone get hummed because he wasn't doing this, but he'd never take him off the pitch. He's such a good finisher. If that chance fell to him, he's going to score. Like, and he's just, say he almost had no rights to be a footballer. Like even say big guys, this and the other. He was just different. He was a big old lump, and he's just a quality footballer. And I think, we built the best team I've seen around him. He played every game, and also the best game I've seen at Leeds United, which is the 4-3, where he scores all 4 goals. It was just an incredible day. Like, I can't remember how old it was then, but it just what year was that? Was it like Liverpool game?
2000.
16. Incredible. Just remember watching it live. Incredible. It's really surreal. It was just happening. Like we just kept scoring. It kept being the same guy. It was a really, really weird game. But some of the players he played with as well weren't amazing. Like in the relegation, like I'm Paul Ocon feeding him, where still scored 11 goals. Yeah. But he's just incredible footballer. Only for a couple of seasons, I think, 2-3 seasons, whatever it was, 4 seasons, whatever. But brilliant.
It was so good with his feet, but it was so good with his head as well. The goals he scored with his head. I mean, the one against Liverpool, right in the top corner, he put that, and just a really good all-round player. Yeah, again, he didn't have a lot of pace, but he didn't.
I remember that goal the season where we just stayed up with, I think, Peter Reid in charge away at Highbury. That goal against Arsenal, just such a good goal when it stayed on side, that high line sort of. I think stayed on side, I'm not too sure, but stayed on side, ran out to right hand side, came in on his left foot and buried it. It was such a good goal. That's apart from the Liverpool memory, that goal at Highbury was just unreal. He got cuts to Arsene Wenger in stand, he's just beside himself and we're beating 3-2. Absolutely love that moment. But yeah, one of my favourite players I've seen. Obviously, I was 13 when he came to us, and it was. High school, teenage years, Viduka put a picture on my wall. He won everything for me for 3 or 4 seasons. I absolutely love him a bit. But brilliant. So that's speaking about Viduka done. Let's have a look. Shall we end the poll and see who's won for next week's?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Let's have a look right then. So, joint last place. Oh, Cooper got the same as Woodgate. 5% apiece.
I love Woodgate.
Jack Charlton, 30%. Lucas Radaby, 6%. That is a poll ended. Lucas Radaby, surprise, wins that poll. So we will end next week's show speaking about the Chief, which is exciting. Chief. I've got him behind me here, signed photo. The Chief is just an absolute legend. He's been unfortunate that he hasn't won any of the polls recently, because he's been in a couple of his polls, I think. I think he was in this one last week as well, and Viduka picked into it. It's all dependent on chat who's in there. And
I love Radaby. I love Radaby so much. I saw him live quite a few times, Radaby, and you see him I saw him at Chelsea, marking Zola. He had some proper battles against some really good, Bergkamp, really good footballers as well.
And he could have moved on to other clubs, and he decided to stay put because he knew where his heart was at, and he knew the best club in the world were Leeds United.
Not Rangers.
Not Rangers. I'm going to just get into a few of the starred comments that I've made. So these will just be random dotted around from all of the show. So Easy said earlier, hi Matty, we need to keep going for the wins. It's still possible for all of the top 4 to get over 90 points. Draws won't cut it. We have to assume that our rivals could win their remaining games. I do think we'll get more points than all those rivals anyway. But yeah, I don't expect them to win all the games, but I get your point. Sean Healy, we discussed this a few weeks back. Me and Danny both said Amps ain't Prem level. Isidore made that run a few times. I think I might have read this one out already, guys, to be fair. I don't think he's Prem level, he says. I'm not too sure. Yeah, we'll have to see. Will we sign Rothwell and Solomon at the end of the season? Peacock and Whites. Put this out to you guys. I would say I would like Solomon. I don't think we get even, if I'm honest, but I'll leave it to you guys.
I'd really like Solomon. I think they will push to get Solomon. Rothwell, as much as I do like him, I'm not sure. I'm just not sure if he is Premier League quality, because he's always been loaned out, hasn't he? So definitely Solomon for me. Not sure on Rothwell.
I think Solomon, they've just got to tell from Bayern Munich as well. They're planning on buying him at the end of the season. They've got a lot of wingers there at Spurs. So I think Solomon will be available. There might be some competition. I think the only problem with Solomon in the Premiership, he's not great at tracking back. He's not, he loses his man quite a lot. And that's not like, and we'll certainly be doing more defending. How much I don't know, but he's so good going forward. I would definitely take him. Rothwell, if we're playing 2 centre midfielders, 2 DMs, I wouldn't take him. I think the fourth player needs to be better. Tanaka, Gruev, Ampadu, plus a really good one. If we're going 4-3, I would take Rothwell, because I think he's a good squad player then. And I think he can operate 4-3-3. You ask a little bit less of your midfielders in a way. So, the more defined roles, I think, either you got the middle one or the outside 2. So, yeah, you can work in that.
Nige said earlier, was this the reason we had no spend in January, referring to the takeover potential?
No.
I don't think at all that was the case.
Just quickly, the reason we had no spend in January is because Farke, if you see that, Jordan Miles and Greta Steins have both left before the window. Farke was pretty much in charge of transfers. He's got, I like these guys. Scouts go, oh yeah, okay. And then we couldn't get them. Like, there's several players Farke would take. If Farke was final sign-off, which is spot on. He's the manager. If he doesn't want them, he shouldn't have them. So, and I think he's really deliberate and really, identifies his targets and what he wants from them. He's not going to take another. We will play players from Switzerland. Farke's not going to play some random guy from Switzerland and hope he works. What's the point? Yeah, and the same thing, we could have done Archer, but we didn't want to do 20 million in summer and commit 20 million to him if he's not going to be a Premier League player. So it made no sense. That's why we didn't do it. It was nothing to do with, I think the money was there. The club would do stuff, but it had to be the right players. And in their eyes, they didn't find the right players.
That's it. Yep.
I agree. But this one by Phil Bailey, both can't play in Europe. Rangers will be in every season. What would happen in that scenario? Be a way off, I would imagine.
Club models do it. I know there's a rule around it, but it does happen. So there's obviously some loopholes in it somewhere, but we don't know what percentage they're buying, etc.
Fair enough. What do you reckon of this one, Sean, regarding the Bogle bookings? If he gets one more booking, he gets suspended for 2 games. I don't know if you knew this, but with it being Sheffield United away, if there's ever a chance of him getting booked, it's this one. But to be fair, he's going to get one at some point. West Brom and who's after West Brom? West Brom and
I've studied it up as well.
Can't remember who the next after them. But anyway, I think if he gets it, he gets it. You can't. I saw someone earlier message me earlier, or comment on one of my other videos saying, it might have been Danny, do you look at taking Bogle out of this one and putting Barham in there? But for me, if he's going to get booked, he's going to get it at some point, innit? But he's highly likely in this game he could get a booking.
He's more likely.
We're not taking him out. It's Portsmouth we've got after the West Brom.
That's the one.
No, he's not going to be brought out. And look,
he's going to get booked, Sean, potentially in this one.
If that's how it's going to be, we're going to have to just deal with it.
He's a brilliant player for us, by the way. He's one of the big reasons we're so much better this year. Him as a right back, he's a top right back, Championship level.
Yeah, you're not going to play him in a big game like this.
No.
He'll be in the conversation for player of the year. He'll be in the conversation.
Yeah,
he'll be in the conversation. He'll be in that top 5, 100% when they're looking at players. And Andy Rose just put, I like Lucas, his personality shone. Jack for the longevity should have got more votes. Would get potentially the best, but marred by court cases and injuries. Yeah, would get a class, to be fair. Would get such a classy player. You don't go to Real Madrid, do you? If you're not a good player, let's be fair.
No.
His injury is definitely slow.
Did he go and goal and sent off in his first game as well?
Yeah, he did. Absolute classic.
Lucas was a brilliant footballer. Brilliant footballer.
Class. Cade Spencer says Ramazani starts on Monday, hopefully with Solomon out. If Solomon's out, Ramazani does start. you've seen from Farke before. He's mentioned things like this before, and it not being totally true. I've got a feeling him is a massive doubt. Solomon's a massive doubt. I reckon they both play. If I'm honest, on Monday, my gut feeling says they both play. He hasn't trained yet, but he's still got, we're not playing tomorrow. We don't play till Monday, so we've got plenty of time.
Ramazani is the next cab off the rank, and he definitely in that attacking midfielders. He's ahead of Nonto now, no doubt about that.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll be excited to see Ramazani get 90 minutes if that's the case. I don't know if you're losing much with Ramazani playing over Solomon, other than Solomon's in the groove right now. Ramazani might have to play himself into that way. Solomon starts, you know what you're going to get off Solomon. At the minute against Ramazani, we aren't too sure. But if he's on it, he's as good as Solomon on his day. For me, Ramazani, on his day, he is.
It's the element of ball, like the reason we play so high against Sheffield United is we trust the players not to give the ball away. And Ramazani will give the ball. He will try more things. So you do have to tweak. You do have to maybe just defense plays 5 yards deeper, or whatever it may be. But it's because he will give away more often. That's about it.
Yeah.
But it's more like he's just as likely to cause a problem though going forward. Definitely.
Yeah. Kate Spencer says here, where are you lot sat for the West Brom? At home. Where are you guys sat?
At home.
For the what?
You go into game, are you?
I haven't got a ticket yet. I don't know.
Not worried. You'll get one.
I will be in the East Upper. I haven't got my ticket yet, but I will get one the week of the game. It will be the East Upper.
I'm in South Stand too.
Of course you are. You animal. We're top off. Whoa, we're the champions of Europe. We love jacuzzis. Yes, we fucking do.
No, I'm not allowed to get a yellow card.
We don't care. There with your nipple tassels on. We know you, mate. We know you. This is why it's got to be called Late Night Leeds. We don't know what we're getting when Sean's on.
You wait till next week now.
Before we sign off, lads, we've got some links again. So Passion for Leeds for Callum, please go check him out. For Jamo, go check out Peacocks of Whites of LFC. Danny Rumsey for Danny Rumsey. And Sean of Wilco Whites is in there somewhere. Go check him out too. There he is. Look, Sean at Wilco Whites. Go check him out. Let's get him some more subs. Let's get him a 200 as soon as possible, please. The bookings get levelled after the Millwall game. So Stephen, Danny says Solomon hasn't trained and has been in a protective boot most of the week. He has said there's a chance he might train on Sunday though, so hopefully that's the case. Sean, I thought you said you had mellowed out. How dare you say Rothwell's not Prem class? I assume that was Sean Healy, not
Sean Healy or me.
Sean, it must be Sean Healy. Skip says, here he is again with Batty. I love that picture. Evening, gents. Tanaka, Ampere, Rothwell, or KP and Klitsch. Ooh. I love Klitsch and I love KP, but I think Tanaka, Ampere, and Rothwell. I don't know. I'm letting you guys answer that. It's my channel. I ain't answering it.
Sorry, we're choosing that 3 versus that 2.
Yeah, I suppose you got to go for 3, haven't you? Because there's an extra body when you get an injury.
Extra money, yeah.
He said I'd go Tanaka over Klitsch, but I'd say Calvin Phillips in his prime better than Ampadu.
Calvin Phillips was England's Player of the Year. Like he was.
That's what I mean. In his prime, he's definitely going to be better than Ampadu. But
it's so hard, isn't it, when you look back at players, because you're always mad by how it ended or what they're doing right now, and you look at Calvin Phillips and it's like, oh, but that 2-year period, he was class, wasn't it? Let's be fair.
Yeah,
it's tough. It's too tough. Like, I don't know. Like if Bielsa didn't get involved, they probably, Click would have done whatever he did, never been heard of, and Phillips would have ended up as a mid-level championship player. 100%. So like
100%. Right then, I think that's just about. I think we're going to wrap it up at that. Please stick a like on the video. Please come back for the next one next Friday. Please subscribe to my channel, Sean at Wilco Whites, and Adam. Just thank you for being here, my friend. Much appreciated. You absolute legend. Thanks for everything you do for this show. Everything you help me with on this channel. Much appreciated. Become a really good friend. So thank you, pal. I'd say something nice because I haven't got a channel to direct people to.
I know, that's that. Yeah. I know that.
But yeah, so we're going to call it a night of that. Thanks so much. Michael got us off for a cup of tea, and I'm sure everybody else is going to bed. But,
no, I'm going to go tea as well.
Tea, then bed.
Go make a tea.
Sound. So I'm going to see if I can time this outro right as well today because I got it wrong last time. I'll see if I can do it.
They'll all see us at the end.
Yeah, they're going to see us at the end.
The outro. They'll all see us.
You know that's going to happen, right? So before we go, I'm going to end it with this one. The experience that I've had is that once you open up and start talking about your mental health struggles, you will realise that you're actually part of quite a big club. Good night, everybody.